The evil spirits, Nephilim. Throughout the Bible, there are many mentions of other gods that tempt and sway the children of Israel away from the God of Israel. In this continuing series, Gods of the Bible, we will go over who these gods are, where these gods come from, and how these gods affect the Bible. Previously, we covered why hell was not in the Old Testament and why Judaism does not believe in hell. We covered the progression of the afterlife and when Lucifer fell, which was much later than most people believe. Nephilim, the evil spirits of the Bible. Recently, we have been covering the 4 afterlives of the Bible. One such afterlife was the place of holding for the wicked known as the pit of fire. The pit of fire, known as Gehenna, finds its name in the valley of Ben Hinnom, which was the place that the ancient Israelites sacrificed children to Moloch. However, Gehenna did not always exist in the Bible. There was only Sheol. Sheol was the place that all souls went to when they died. Gehenna was mentioned later in the Bible as the place of temporary holding of the wicked, until the time of final judgment, where the souls would be sorted. But why does the Bible have the pit of fire as a place to hold the wicked souls until the time of final judgment? The answer can be found in the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch is an ancient Jewish text that predates the compilation of the Bible by several centuries. Although not in all Bibles, the Book of Enoch can be found in the Ethiopian Bible. The Ethiopian Bible is considered to be one of the oldest and most complete Bibles in the world by many biblical historians. The Book of Enoch can be found in its complete and untouched form in the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Book of Enoch tells the story of Enoch, who was the great-grandfather of Noah, and depicts the events that led to the Great Flood. The Bible gives a handful of lines about Enoch and tells the reader about the giants. And Enoch walked with God, and he was no more, for God took him. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. But who were the giants? The Bible tells us that they are the offspring of the sons of God and does not really go into any more detail. This is where the first book of Enoch comes in. The first book of Enoch gives a more detail about the sons of God and the giants. The giants, otherwise known as the Nephilim, were the children of the sons of God who descended from Mount Hermon and laid with the daughters of men. The sons of God, known as the Watchers taught mankind the forbidden knowledge of God, including magic, war, and much, much more. Their offspring, the Nephilim, are the giants that are written in the Bible. Giants are a misleading translation as to what the Nephilim are. Nephilim can be translated as giants, but more likely and closer to the Hebrew word nephal, which means to fall. That would mean that the Nephilim are the fallen ones. But who are these fallen ones? The Book of Enoch tells us that the Nephilim are the offspring of the sons of God, the Watchers, and because of their heavenly fathers, were stronger and larger than normal men. With being larger than mankind also came a need for more food. The Nephilim demanded humanity to produce food for them. When human beings could not produce enough food for the Nephilim began eating mankind. When mankind was not enough, they began to war and eat each other. The bloodshed was so great that the victims of the Nephilim cried unto heaven from Sheol to avenge their deaths. The cries of the dead reached the archangels, the princes of heaven. The archangels go to God and demand that the Watchers and the Nephilim be punished, from which God acts swiftly. The Book of Enoch is unique. In the Book of Enoch, there is actually a fifth afterlife, not mentioned in the Bible. The Book of Enoch is the only time we learn of this afterlife. But the Book of Enoch is consistent with the biblical tradition. In the Book of Enoch, there is no Gehenna or Hades, the modern idea of hell, like the biblical tradition suggests. Instead, both good and evil souls went to Sheol. The souls were divided between a canyon, with the righteous on one side and the evil on the other. There was no fiery pit nor lake of fire. This is interesting, as this follows the biblical text that the creation of Sheol was first, and Gehenna and later Hades came after. But why is the lack of a place of punishment important? The reason goes back to the Nephilim. The Watchers, the sons of God, petitioned God to allow their children, the Nephilim, to enter heaven when they died. God immediately rejected the Watchers. The reason why God rejected the request of the Watchers to allow the Nephilim to enter heaven is due to the origins of the souls of the Nephilim. The Book of Enoch tells us that the Nephilim have primitive souls. That is, the Nephilim souls do not find its origins in heaven, but were created on the earth. Because of their primitive, earthly souls, the Nephilim cannot go to heaven, since they are not from heaven. If the Nephilim cannot go to heaven, then what happens to the Nephilim when they die? As mentioned before, there was no Gehenna, and there was no hell or Hades. The Book of Enoch tells the reader that the Nephilim will become the evil spirits of the earth to tempt and torment mankind. This leaves a serious problem. The Nephilim are trapped on the earth to torment mankind forever. The fact that the Nephilim are trapped on the earth leaves another issue. What to do with the evil spirits stuck on the earth? The Bible gives a solution. Gehenna. Gehenna was the place created for the wicked souls to await the time of final judgment. Gehenna was created to house the evil spirits of the earth, and the Nephilim are evil spirits. If Gehenna was created to house the Nephilim, then that would explain why Gehenna came about later in the Bible, and why it did not appear in the Book of Enoch. Simply, there was no need for Gehenna in the Book of Enoch, but when the Nephilim began to die, a need arose. Why is it that Gehenna was created later than Sheol? Did the Nephilim exist? Are the Nephilim evil spirits of the Bible? Why is it that the Nephilim are primitive spirits? Let me know in the comment section below. And for more Supernatural History TV, like and subscribe.